Thank you, the technical team in the house.
Daktari, just
Are you
hold
able
on.
to see my screen?
Daktari.
Yes.
Just hold on a bit. I'm sending you a link on WhatsApp that you are going to send to your students.
Hey,
That's what is
Wisha wewe.
remaining. Yeah, I'm sending a link on WhatsApp. That link you are going to share with your students because I'm not in touch with your students. Is that okay? Daktari, Dr. Domitila, is that okay?
Yes, it is okay. Somebody's interfering on the phone.
APM 411 live lesson. I'm just sharing on WhatsApp. Forward that link to your students. Then you give them like 5 minutes to join. Then we pick from there.
Thank you. Noted.
Yeah, just check on your WhatsApp. Nimejoin kwa Google Meet. So let me create a YouTube link just now. Okay. Yes? Wapi? Haipatikani. Your school of education. Acha niangalie. Sijui kama ni hiyo, acha niangalie. Ah, ah. Naona mpaka neti imepotea mama. Kuna neti hapa. Hello? So, nifunge mlango. Just but tutafollow YouTube uone mbona YouTube wanafika wanaingia ingia. Sawa, itabidi tu ninyamaze, usinipigie simu, wewe manage kila kitu. Haya.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning once again. I hope you're fine. Welcome to our class today.
Rende nione pa. Anasemaje?
Anasema kwa extension yenye kuna nini server yetu ndio kwenye kuna nini student portal.
Na mbona student portal iko on? Ndio angalia tu.
Nimejaribu kuireach. Not I think it.
Ndio angalia ama keba ama mtu amemweka.
Hata kuangalia
Iko kwa wewe itakana uko kwa fatwa.
kuna mtu ameenda huko kweli. Mtu ameenda huko.
Ama hata nichukue nione sababu hawa naweza kapick tu.
Kifungo inakuja.
Inakuja mbona leo?
Ndio twende.
Enda kuangalia. Kuna klasi hapa mbili. Dr. Domitila. Hello, Dr. Domitila. You have muted. Dr. Domitila, you have muted.
I was waiting for communication from your end.
From my side, only 65 have joined.
Let them join because the link has come late. So I'm still waiting.
Okay, okay.
Zilikuwa zimefunguka.
Sasa
Dr. Domitila itabidi ufunze wanafunzi 55 that have joined.
Then maybe in the real sense, this class is not 1,000. I don't see why I'm straining using online instead of teaching using physical. Because you people are straining, I'm also straining. We are waiting for students who are not turning up. I don't know. So let me just start with those who've come. Have you connected me kindly? Am I now connected? Technical team, online. Technical team, online. Mark D, are you in? Hello?
Dr. Domitila, just kindly continue. They are getting you.
Oh, I was waiting for your consent. So class, Today, let's start by recouping or recalling what we did last time. We were so much in a hurry, and it's important that you know, before we start using this screen, 2005, we looked at session of paper number 1 of 2005. 1 minute, kindly. Sorry for the technical hitch. Class, I'm available now. Something was happening on my network, but we've tried to solve, so please bear with it. Next time we shall have a physical class. When these issues of technology start interfering with our communication, sometimes we get devastated. So I was talking about the session of paper number 1 of 2005. Please read on it. We covered last time. We also looked at session of paper number 14 of 2012. We looked at session of paper number 14 of 2012. We also looked at Kenya National Examination Council, which I actually gave you the duties and the objectives of setting up the Kenya National Examination Council. We also looked at KICD, Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, which we covered very well. We went far to look at Kenya Institute of Management, Kenya Education Institute of Management, that is KEMI. It is a body that is designated with the powers to train all managers. Those of you who will be willing or who will wish to head an institution, you must go through Kenya Education Management Institute. You will go to that. We learned much on it. We also looked at KUPPET. I mentioned something on KUPPET. I mentioned something on KESHA. I mentioned something on Teacher Service Commission. I mentioned something on KISE. And finally, KLB, Kenya Literature Bureau. All those bodies are very important to us. As we move ahead, we must actually familiarize ourselves with the past. There is also one body which I have to mention to you is the Jomo Kenyatta Foundation. Please, it is under what we covered. I also gave you some questions that would assist you to remember what we had covered, like on KNUT, the roles of Kenya National Union of Teachers. Then we have professional bodies that enhance quality education, including the Teacher Service Commission. You had many questions. So now, can we come repackage ourselves and move to our today's lesson? And I'm going to be slightly movable because of the time that we have actually wasted. We have slightly wasted some little time, although for no apparent, not for our own making, it was not for our own making, neither was for anybody's making. We were waiting for the students to join. That was number one. Number two, we were waiting for the link to stabilize. So as at now, the number is very low. The number of those who joined is very low, and we are contemplating on having a physical class because there is no need for having a link streaming the teaching when we can still manage ourselves in one of the medium capacity rooms in Kibabii University. So can we start on management of school personnel? Management of school personnel. So when we talk of school personnel, what do we mean? There are several groups that we have to put up in mind. These people are found in a school. They assist in the day-to-day running of the school. There are many groups that are involved. But now, let's look at those who do administration. They manage and do the administration of the school. So all secondary schools in Kenya are administered and managed by principal. All, not one. They are managed and administered by principals. We are also going out. We want to become principals. We also have the employer, the person concerned or the body concerned with the recruitment and the employment of those teachers. Then we have those who assist the principals. There are people who assist the principals in running the institutions. You can see them. We have deputies, we have heads of departments, and then we also have an important group that is the non-teaching staff. The non-teaching staff include people like the bursar, accounts clerk, the cateress, the matron, etc., librarian, etc. Who appoints the personnel? These people must be appointed or employed by somebody. It is the Teacher Service Commission is in charge of the employment, the recruitment. I gave you those functions in the previous lesson. This is just a By the way, you have to know that as you are going out, Teacher Service Commission is going to do the necessary to ensure that you become a teacher and you belong to the group of teachers who are in Kenya. It will register the teachers. Immediately you graduate, you register. After registering, TSC will recruit you, employ you, give you work to do, that is staffing. It will promote you when you are due, maybe after 3 years or 5 years or 10 years. It's supposed to pay you because you are doing the work for it. And it is supposed also to control you. If teachers are not controlled, what do you think will happen? Like this class of mine, unless we have some controls put in place, it is not easy. It is not easy to manage a group of people without control measures. And as a teacher, there are documents or there are regulations that will control you. We have the Teachers Code of Regulation. We call it the Teacher's Bible. All teachers must read the content in that book and master. Then there is another one, Teachers Code of Ethics. Now that one deals with our moral behavior. How do we behave? How do we carry ourselves? Like when the Teachers Code of Ethics was introduced, it spelled out issues concerning teachers going to school in gumboots, teachers putting on jeans, trousers when going to school, teachers using t-shirts when going to school. I hope in my class, as we are going to get the employment or as we are going to be recruited to become members of Teacher Service Commission and join schools, we are not going to use t-shirts. We are not going to use gumboots. We are not going to put on, like the ladies, very short dresses or skirts or tops that expose our bodies. Those ones are not allowed. It is among the rules that teachers are supposed to observe. And it also spells out the discipline that will come to you in case you are found breaking one of the spelled out rules and regulations. Now, it is important to know the recruitment of teachers. How are teachers recruited? Supposing somebody asked you, you went for an interview, somebody asks you about recruitment of a teacher. How are you going to do it? How are you going to explain? First, it starts with the advert. There must be an advert. That advert is going to appear in all public or media to announce the chances that are available. It can be either through print media, social media, etc. And also the government gazette is going to give out the positions or the chances that are available. So immediately those chances are declared, then it is the BOM now to conduct the selection exercise. It is the BOM that will say, in school B, we need 2 teachers. In school C, we need 1. And which teacher do we need? A teacher of English and literature, or a teacher of mathematics, or a teacher of bio. So the BOM or Board of Management conducts the selection exercise for advertised positions. It is the one that will do the selection exercise, including a personnel from Teacher Service Commission. The Teacher Service Commission personnel will be representing the TSC to see if whoever they want to recruit is fit to take up the chances. So all applicants must be registered. That one we've said. Applicants will be required to submit their applications to the secretary of the board. Who is the secretary of the board in any institution? It is the head teacher or the principal. It is the head teacher or the principal who is the secretary of the board. Then a copy of the letter is sent to respective TSC sub-county directors. I said there must be a representative from Teacher Service Commission, so that is that person will also get a letter showing that there is going to be a recruitment exercise on such and such a day and in such and such institution. So upon receipt of the application, heads of institution must acknowledge The moment your letter lands in Lugulu, or the moment your letter lands in Friends School Kamsinga, because they have declared that they need 2 teachers, the head teacher must acknowledge that he or she has received the particular application letter from so and so, or from the following candidates. Then shortlisting process starts. Sometimes we say, describe the process of recruitment of teachers by BOM members or by Teacher Service Commission. How are teachers recruited? These are the processes, or this is the procedure. Then the TSC sub-county compiles a list of all applicants and presents it during the interview. You will be asked to come for interview. During the interview, the list is there. So if you did not apply, if you are not shortlisted, and then you appear to have come for an interview, then you will not be allowed, because there's a lot of transparency these days that people don't use shortcuts. So all applicants should be given equal opportunity. What does that mean? It doesn't matter the time you applied. It doesn't matter the person you know on the panel. It doesn't matter how heavy your pocket is. You will be given enough opportunity, and that opportunity is, they will start by putting your marks, checking the year of graduation. Each year has specified mark that will be given. So you will get like 2021, 2022, those who graduated in 2021, they will be given flat rate of 20 marks. Everybody who graduated in 2021 will be given a flat rate of 20 marks, like that. Then they look at now your papers. Then finally, they look at your presentation. And the presentation will only add you, say, 5 marks or 12 marks. It won't give you much. So during the interview, what happens? During the interview, there are a few things that will happen. The TSC count director ensures that heads of institution confirm online registration status. If you faked a registration number to come and get a job, you will be discovered. You will be discovered. So don't fake or don't forge. You must register immediately. You complete. Then secondly, they will also check the authenticity of your professional papers. What do we mean? Like if you say you graduated from Kibabii 2025, they will click on 2025 graduates of Kibabii University. They will get a booklet. And inside that booklet, they must see your name. Your name must be there. And also NEC. They will check whether your Form 4 certificate is authentic. They will also check for your Class 8 certificate. Then the secretary should certify copies of original certificates and inform the sub-county director. So those are just procedures until in the end, the secretary of BOM should ensure the application is correctly filled. There is a form that you will be asked to fill, and that form must be filled correctly. So look at that procedure. In a normal exam, that procedure is always 20 marks. It is a full question on its own, or sometimes 15 marks. Then we add something little to make 20. So that procedure is supposed to be followed. Then purpose of performance appraisal. What is appraisal? What is appraisal? You should know what appraisal is. So to be appraised is to check whether you are really performing according to the expectation. Sometimes we get jobs, then we underperform. If you underperform, your employer will complain. Nobody will complain when you are overperforming, but people will complain when you are underperforming. So if you are underperforming, they check your performance against the set targets of the institution or the goals, then you will be regarded as redundant in that area, or you will be told to move, look for a school or look for another place where you can discharge your duties because you are irrelevant. The moment you are irrelevant, you cannot actually be in a particular place. So assessment of performance, it's to distinguish between those whose performance is effectively contributing to the goals and those who are not. That one I've explained. Reward, what is the reward? Those performing well want to be recognized. How are you recognized as a teacher? How are you recognized as a teacher? When somebody tells you, oh, this is very good, teachers will say, for every A, I want 1,000 shillings. Every A. Is that the only way you can be recognized? Is that the only way you can be rewarded? You can be given a certificate. And sometimes there is no certificate, there is no money, there is no tea in the school, there is nothing, and you are doing very well. You get self-satisfaction. You just say, wow, I'm happy I did this. So such things are very important. Appraisal is important. Communicating clear, specific expectations and giving both positive and constructive feedback to the appraisee. So an appraisee is supposed to be given feedback. Initially, there was a lot of victimization, but now when you appraise me, you give me a score. When you appraise me and give me a score, you also bring that score, we discuss. Then you tell me why I scored that particular mark. Before you forward, you can't forward. There is no secrecy in appraisal these days. When somebody appraises you, is supposed to tell you the marks you've scored and the reasons why you've scored that mark. So that is what we are talking about, feedback during appraisal. We move to the next stage. Hope I still have people in the house. I'm not seeing anybody because I'm sharing the full screen. Objectives of secondary education. What is the objective of secondary education? And what do we mean by secondary education? Secondary means you are building from primary. Primary is the first stage, secondary is the second stage. So when we talk of secondary education, this particular education is supposed to build on what you acquired in a primary school. What a student acquires in primary section is supposed to be improved on in a secondary school.
Dr. Domitila.
So the first, yes?
Dr. Domitila.
Yes?
The number is 166. The number is 166 and they are following very well.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I really appreciate.
Welcome.
So I was talking about secondary education, saying it is building up on what you acquired in primary. So first, it promotes the experience. In primary, you had a different experience. Now, when you come to secondary, you come to a different experience, whereby most likely in primary, teachers forced you to read. You were in a day school. You used this and that particular method. But when you come to secondary, sometimes you go very far away from your home. You go to start now making decisions for yourself. You can decide to remain sick in the sick bay for a whole semester. That is your problem. But in primary, because you go back to your parents, assuming it's a day school, you go back, most of them are day schools, you go back to your parents, parents will monitor. Then you find that your mental ability, the mental ability will be improved. You will not still be reasoning like those in primary school. Repeat, yes. Can you repeat again? Yes. Can you repeat? In secondary schools, we don't have repeat, say, listen, keep quiet. Can you run? Can you sit? Can you kneel down? Such things sometimes don't appear. You are supposed to grow mentally. Physically, the body develops muscles. Your physical appearance will also improve because you are approaching adolescence or maybe in adolescence already. Emotional and moral emotional and moral stability should be, you should start now controlling your emotions. In primary, you maybe used to cry. When you come to secondary, you must learn to control your emotions. You are caned maybe 5 strokes and you just bear and say, hey, Bwan, it was tough. So such things are supposed to be one of the objectives of secondary education, is to develop, promote experience, mental, physical, emotional, moral, spiritual, etc. that were done in primary. They are now promoted. Then number 2, communication skills. Some people in primary schools don't use even English. They use Kiswahili. And some even use the first language. So if such languages are used, the moment you step in a secondary school, medium of communication is ink. So you must develop good speaking skills. Then we have technological application. That one also comes there. Social skills, including service to others and the society. You now learn how to approach issues, how to stand on your own, how to advise people. When you go back home, you find those students or those pupils who are in primary schools. How do you interact with them? How do you behave? Will you start playing kalongo with them, or you will be slightly superior? How do you carry yourself in a society after joining secondary school? Then there is another one, increase knowledge on economic production and its relationship with the social context and the natural environment. You should be able to know how to look for money. How to look for money. How do you look for money when you are in secondary? You can still save the little money you are given at home. Then when you come back, you can invest the little money so that you get more, looking at the status of your, or the cadre, or which group does your parent belong to. From there, you should be able to reason and look for sources of getting money, not stealing. Then you should also know how to behave in a social context and how do you improve our environment. You come, maybe at home you have an open sewer, you will talk to your parents and say, supposing we did this to this water, supposing we dug something here to collect all this wastewater because it's not clean, it is actually making our compound untidy or messy, then that one you are dealing with the issues concerning, and there are many. I can't give you everything. You are going to read, the notes are there. Then we have also the issue of strengthening the foundation that was laid. Promote social equity. Social equity, I will also explain that one because it's important. What do we mean by social equity and maybe unity? In secondary schools, you come from diverse environments. There is somebody from Mandera, somebody from Nyanza, that is maybe Suba district or maybe Suba county, if it exists, somebody from Nyamira, somebody from Mombasa. And remember, you are meeting in a school. Each person has come with his own culture. And when you come to that school, you must be the same. The first factor that will make you be the same is the school uniform. Nobody will, whether your father is a president or whether your mother is a mamboga selling ndizi along Kibabii, Chwele Road, when you reach a secondary school, the equity part comes in. You will be the same unless you decide to stop being the same. But you will be the same using the school uniform. You will go to the same classes. You will sit on the same chairs. You will use the same textbooks. The difference is you will have a different box. Maybe yours is a suitcase. Somebody is coming with a mabati or mbao. That is the only difference that you will have, but that will be in the house because you are not allowed to carry home clothes to school. What are the challenges in administration of secondary school education? When we talk of secondary school, everybody has been there. In fact, if it was a life lesson, all of you could give me points, I would have said each one to write down 10 challenges that they experience in going through secondary education. And you people could have done a lot of wonders for me. You could have done a lot. So here we have the primary section has 100,000 students. The secondary section is only taking 30,000. Where do we have the spillovers? The spillovers are likely to disappear in thin clouds. Why do we have smaller groups joining secondary schools? It's because of the capacity they can hold. They may not have enough infrastructure that can accommodate all students. So that one makes a problem. That one brings a problem to the accommodation. It's like the universities. The universities cannot accommodate all graduates from secondary schools. So it becomes a problem for them. So it forces those who are in secondary schools to accommodate fewer students than those that are coming from primary schools. Then we also have those that join universities are also fewer than those who graduate from secondary schools because of capacity. Then number two, another one is there is a decline in secondary school enrollment occasioned by high costs. High costs. When I talk of high costs, I don't need to explain. Then there is the issue of high cost on learning and teaching materials. High cost on learning and teaching materials. There are so many things that parents are given a list. The moment they reach the secondary school during admission day, there is another list. Not from the main list, there is another list. Then talk of school uniform. Maybe your parent could have looked for a cheaper material to buy you because he's not able to raise enough money. But because it is the school that is giving the money, and because of the aspect or the factor that I said, all students must be the same, regardless of your origin or your parental endowment, then you must buy this uniform from the school. Maybe your parent could have given you a mattress, a 1-inch mattress because of resources. But because you must be uniform, when you go to school, you are given a 3-inch mattress, in fact, blue in color, so that all of you are the same. That is high cost. Then we have extra expenses for private tuition and friendly environment. Some environments are hostile, like maybe you go to a school, there is no water. There is the issue of poverty at household level. Parents, you are supposed to go to Alliance, and your father or your mother, like me, I can only afford to take you to Shewe or Wamalwa Kijana so that you come home every evening, you eat with us. It is not bad. It's because of poverty at household level. So it makes it actually a challenge for people to join where they're supposed to be. Then finally, we have low expansion of public secondary schools. That one I had explained. Then there are so many challenges. Many head teachers cannot do what the parents cannot manage. So all these become challenges, like teachers' promotion based on qualification but not on performance. That one is also a challenge in managing a secondary school. It's based on qualification. Somebody has papers, but somebody cannot deliver. You are teaching my boys and girls or the students in the house, you are going out, you teach students who get E's, and the best one is getting a C. But because you have a degree, somebody has a diploma, who is getting A's has a diploma, you'll be given promotion and this person will not. That is being unfair. We should look at the performance, but not the qualification. If I become the CS education, I will change that particular aspect to become a strength on those who work hard. Then we have poorly maintained physical facilities. You've seen in some schools, actually, there are no desks, there are no chairs. The black walls are not black anymore. They have changed to gray, and that is where teachers are supposed to use for writing. What is the government doing to assist in reducing some of these challenges, or what is it doing to overcome them? What is the government doing to overcome them? Somebody will ask you. 5 marks. What is the government of Kenya doing, or what is the Ministry of Education, whichever comes first, on whoever is talking, is doing to reduce the challenges that are being, the challenges that are in secondary schools now? What is the government doing? Number one, there is the issue of curriculum, revising the curriculum to reduce the cost on all stakeholders. The government must reduce the cost on all stakeholders. What do we mean by stakeholders? We have the parents are stakeholders. Students are also stakeholders. We have the teachers are stakeholders. We also have even the ministry itself is a stakeholder. So when we reduce the number of subjects or we reduce the content, we are going to save on the constraints. Then there is the issue of the government providing teachers to all public schools. Teachers must be given to all public schools so that we don't employ teachers on BOM. Teachers employed on BOM are paid by the parents. And if the parents as stakeholders are already overstrained by facilitating their students, then they are not going to pay fees. So it is now the government's duty to see to it that teachers are paid by the government so that schools have enough teachers. Schools will have enough teachers if the teachers are being paid by the government. Schools will have less teachers, one teacher teaching more than 30 periods, because they are the parents who are supposed to pay. Then we have the strengthening KEMI, strengthening the capacities of educational managers. What do we mean by KEMI? I said Kenya Education Management Institute. That is where principals and deputies are trained, and even senior masters, and even heads of wanaitwa DOS ama ni nini? I don't know. We call them heads of departments. They are trained. That is a training position, capacity building for people who are going to take over as principals when Principal X retires. So there must be a bank where human resource is kept. Qualified people, including my boys and girls in the class, you are going to be employed as the head teacher or as a senior master or a head of subject or whatever after going through Kenya Educational Management Institute. You will be given a diploma in management. Then there is the issue of reviewing staffing norms. Reviewing staffing norms. Initially, people used to go where they want. Initially, during my time, a teacher could choose the county, a teacher could choose the place he or she wants to teach. Most of us went to Nairobi. Like me, I found myself in Nairobi because of various reasons. Some people are looking for urban areas. Remember, rural areas suffered a great shortage. Why? Teachers did not prefer, even those who were born in those areas refused to go back to their own homes. Right now, my son, my sister, my brother, when you qualify, you will go first employment at home, kwenu. Whether you come from Mandera, Garissa, Matonye area in Kibabii, employment, you will go to your sub-county county director, that is your village, and people will ask, do you know the father of this girl who has come to apply for a position of teaching in this school? Then somebody will say, huyu ni mtoto wa fulani. You don't go to a foreign area to do the teaching. You go back home for 5 years before you can have a transfer in case you are married. Then the government is improving teaching and learning materials, including labs, lab equipment, etc. Remember, some schools in Kenya are receiving donations from the government to equip and rehabilitate the labs, libraries, home science buildings, etc. Then finally we have, I'm giving you just a few, then you look for them. In servicing teachers in various subjects, we have these workshops where teachers go to get more or current information on different things. Like what I have taught you on recruitment, it is not in the notes that you people have, because this is current. This is what is happening. We cannot talk about the employment that we went through in 1980. My first employment was 1985. So I cannot tell you the procedure that was used in 1985. I have taught you the procedure that is being used now. And that is exactly what you are supposed to know. So that one is not very relevant. It's relevant, but you see, I'll be repeating myself on appraisal. That one we said, it has just come, by the way. Then the role, secondary school administration. What is the role of the head teacher? What is the role? You are going to be the head teacher. This one I don't need to explain. You know what your head teachers were doing. You should be able to write even 20 points on the role of the head teacher. First, he is responsible for education policies in the institution. He is the manager of that institution, and he implements the curriculum. He is in charge of the implementation of the curriculum. That is why when you go to who will now send you to whoever is concerned to give you work to do. So he is the government representative in that institution. Assigning of teaching and non-teaching duties, undertaking reasonable workload, management and control of finances. That one you are supposed to know. He's the secretary of BOM, Board of Management. And then finally, he provides conducive and effective teaching environment. How can a principal, you are a principal of, let me see, which school? Bahita Secondary School in Matonye area. Explain how you will provide effective and conducive environment for teaching. Explain how you will provide effective and conducive environment for teaching. You see, already I've just looked at the last point and given you a question. So you should be able to know what the head teacher does. There is the issue of procurement. And remember, now you want to become a principal. There is the e-procurement. You must learn what it does and how to do it. If you don't learn and practice, then your school will not have any resources to use for running your institutions. Then you also develop an institutional strategic plan. Where do you want to be in the next 5 years? You can't just be running aimlessly. You must have a control point that assists you to say, we've achieved this, tomorrow we go to that, the following day we go to that. There is also the issue of ensure maintenance of teaching standards and professional records. Teaching standards, we have quality assurance. Every school must have somebody in charge of quality. I was talking of Some of us, during school practice, you go to class, you've not prepared. And when you reach that class, you take a textbook, you give students your bag, you start writing, copying directly from the textbook. You are not a teacher. I was advising most of you by saying you must have picked a wrong profession. If this is the right profession that you want to belong, then you must prepare. Take some few hours in the evening, prepare well, package yourself with the information, go to class, have confidence and teach. If you're to appraise the government and other stakeholders in institutional performance. You are the one to appraise government employees. There is an employee missing. You are the one to appraise government employees like teachers. Teachers are appraised these days. If you will not be appraised as you are going out, there is somebody going to be appraising you after every month. This is what you set, this is what you've achieved. If you measure below, by you are given a warning. You measure again below, you are given another warning. You measure again below, you are dismissed, which is going to work hand in hand with us. And the head teacher is also the custodian of the records of the institution. There are so many. You will learn in second semester the records that the head teacher keeps, but I can mention he keeps the title deed of the institution, the registration certificate of the institution, the certificates students are going to get, all certificates for examinations, all documents, government documents. It is the head teacher who keeps them in say, and all accounting books. Those books, when they are closed, they must be kept safely for future audit. Then we have the role of the deputy head teacher. That one, you look for it. It's very simple. The role of the deputy head teacher is very simple. Where the head teacher does this, he's the one assisting in implementing. Where the head teacher takes this, he's the one assisting in the implementation. So the role of he is the secretary to the staff meetings. The other one is the secretary to the BOM meetings. This one, staff meetings. Then teaching the subjects of specialization. It is, we have schools with to Catholic University, it has a sponsor. So meaning it is aligned to a certain particular faith, to a certain faith. It is aligned. But a university like Kibabii is a government institution, is not aligned. So we have schools that have sponsors. Catholic schools, Quaker schools, we have SS, Salvation Army schools, etc. So what is the role of the sponsor? What do they do? What do they do? You can see I have given many points. They also need representation. When BOM management is being appointed, when they appoint the BOM members, the sponsor must be given some members. And most of them, like Catholics, would prefer the chairperson to their schools to be from the sponsor's faith or from the sponsor or sponsor affiliated. Like the Quaker schools, the Friends Church schools would wish the BOM chair to be a member of Friends Church. Then they also supervise or advise services that are given in those institutions, maintenance of spiritual development, and safeguarding the denomination or religious adherence of others. So we have YMC, yes, sijui inaitwa nini hii kitu. The Christian Union, they have their own. We have the Catholic, in some schools, the Catholic practice their own. Some schools, the SDS practice their own. They don't mix. Then we have the general now taking care of other faiths. Other faiths. The role of a class teacher, that is very easy. Like me, I'm a class teacher. You can put me where you want. I'm concerned with your welfare. You will be concerned with the welfare of your students. You must maintain relevant documents. When somebody comes to that class, you are the class teacher, you must have the documents of that class. Document number 1, class register. You must have the class register. That is document number 1. Number 2, you must have the performance of your students. Then other documents that are relevant, like cards, administering of cards in those classes, ensuring discipline, checking cleanliness. That is exactly what you are going to do as a class teacher. And there are very many of these activities that you are supposed to do as a class teacher. So far, so good. I have finished that topic. I have finished that topic, although I still have a few things that I can mention to you people. I can mention, if you must write them. We have them. What is the role of BOM and PTA? What is the role of BOM and PTA in a school? What is the role of BOM and PTA in a school? They also have duties. They have activities they do. What is the role of head of department in a school? What is the role of head of department in a school? You should be able to know the role of the head of department in a school. Which department do you belong to? Which department do you belong to? You must know the role. So, 2 minutes, we are changing to the next topic. 2 minutes, we are changing to the next topic, kindly. Then if you have questions, we shall organize a session on then we have a session where you will get as many questions as possible, and I will also give you as many questions as possible as we organize ourselves for the coming examinations in January. So let me change to the next topic quickly. Yes. The technical team in the house. Hello. 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 Mark D. Somebody in the house? Technical team? Technical team in the house? Thank you very much. I have been notified that you are seeing topic 9. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that. So I wanted to combine management of school personnel together with management of students. Then I have PowerPoint for management of school finances, which I'll not give you today because it will be too much for my teachers. Teachers, I know You are almost there. We are not far from the end. And I don't want to teach for 4 hours. It will be too much for you. We are almost there. So I will today, with you moving online, we shall look at management of students. So when we talk of students, these are the learners. These are the people who are in those institutions that we are going to be posited to go and do the work. These are the people who have left their different sub-counties, different counties, different regions to come to one particular place to get and we are in the same institution. So we must also look for a way of managing. We must devise ways of managing these students. We must put their things that will assist us control them. We must put their things that will prompt their safety or that will make them achieve the goal that actually are set in the school. So the first thing that we are supposed to look at is school discipline. When we say somebody is disciplined, what do we mean? You know, somebody can ask you a very simple question, define discipline. Then you say, you see, discipline is when. You see, you know, discipline is, no, don't go. What is discipline? It is just being able to train and control yourself. Full stop. It's just training and controlling yourself. So if you've trained yourself in waking up early, eating your breakfast at 7, eating your lunch at 1, eating your supper at 7, that is your discipline. That is your routine. You've made a routine. But in a school situation, what do we mean by discipline? It is the way learners are trained and guided. When we train learners, guide them well to make decisions that will assist them live in that particular society without infringing on other people's rights, then that is, we shall say, students are well disciplined. Full stop. Number 1, students are trained. Number 2, they are guided. We are not training military men to be responsible. What do we mean by being responsible? You must come to class when you are clean. You must brush your teeth. You must do your assignments. You know, that is guiding a student. And when you guide a student, the student will now become responsible. It will become a routine. Somebody will use common sense. Like we have schools like FSK. They say, use common sense, a very big slogan. So if you don't have common sense, then you cannot actually be in that school. So the moment you are disciplined and you are able to make decisions, what else are you supposed to do? You will exploit all the opportunities in that institution. In that particular environment, you will exploit the opportunities that are there that will make you attain what you went there to look for. What you went to that institution to look for will be attained because you are disciplined. If you are not disciplined, then you'll be sent home. The moment you are sent home, whether you are an A student, when you come back, you will not be an A student. Other people would have covered a lot. Number 2, emotionally and morally, people look at you in a different perspective. So defining discipline, you can do it in your own way. What is the importance? What is the importance of school discipline or maintaining school discipline? There are so many things, so many. When you are disciplined, you will work hard. When you are disciplined, you will perform well. When you are disciplined, the school will have a good reputation, a good name. When you are disciplined, when challenges are in that particular school, like you wake up one day, the cooks are late. You normally have your breakfast at 7. Today, it is 7, the cooks are lighting the fire. Do you burn the school? If you burn the school, then you will not automatically have breakfast. So you will be able to control yourself. Where there are no resources, like we don't have enough textbooks, you will share. That is the issue behind discipline. There are so many things. You will protect individual differences. You will protect yourself. You will listen to your friend. If you are disciplined, you listen. Like my class, I like the 4th years because you listen. Sometimes when the network misbehaves, you tell me, don't strain, there is another day. You will cultivate positive influence, not negative. Do you know what negative influence is? Negative influence, derailing yourself and others from the goals of the institution, from the goals that brought you to that particular place. Twende bwana tukunywe. Mumeenda. Leo kuna disco matanga in the environment. Mumeruka waya, mumeenda. So in that school, when your parents brought you, on that particular list of things that you are going to do to school, hatukuwa na kitu kama disco matanga, hatukuwa na kitu kama kunywa, hatukuwa kama beating your friend, hitting him hard or her. Such things were not there. So discipline is supposed to make us live with other people in a cordial and friendly manner. Then discipline will also is concerned with self-fulfillment and satisfaction through school activities. Self-fulfillment and satisfaction through school activities. So which activities? The school has so many activities. It has games, it has sports, it has choir, it has academics, symposiums, etc. So disciplined students will always strive to belong to one. But you see, you can't belong in all. When will you sit now in class to read, surely? When the sports people are going out, you are number 1 on the bus. When the drama, number 1 on the bus. When we have music, number 1 on the bus. When we have those who are going for a workshop, number 1. So when will you apportion some little time for your studies? So discipline has quite a number of things. Somebody will ask you to name them. You just have to be calm and list as many as you can. Ways of enhancing school discipline among students. How do we bring school discipline? How do we? You know, the cane is not there. The cane is not supposed to be one of the ways of instilling discipline among students. In the university, is there anybody who beats you? So when you leave that university, you go to a school, you start beating up people's children, you will be caned thoroughly. Stop hitting people's children, because in universities, we've not used the same method. So that is the authoritarian approach. School rules and regulation is number 1. The authoritarian approach, you like it or not, you will follow. Strict rules and regulations, they will guide individuals to make good decisions. For example, rule number 1, this. Rule number 2, this. Like rule number 11 in Kibabii University is no carrying of unauthorized materials to the examination room. You don't carry anything. If you carry unauthorized materials and they have put in brackets, phones, small short notes, if you carry them, you've broken a rule. And that is the authoritarian approach. So authoritarian approach will make those who break the rule be faced by a punishment. There must be a punishment. So in case a student is not supervised, because it has not been instilled in them, there are the rules that are controlling you. If the rules are controlling you, then if somebody is not there now to follow you, to say, can you, then you are likely to be in problems. So when we approach the authoritarian approach, somebody must be there to supervise the students. So what So when we talk of school rules and regulations, they are very important. We are coming from different societies and communities. We have come together. We need something that will change our perception and our culture. We need something that will remove our attitude and foster national unity. So that are the rules. Everybody must eat foods from the dining. That one will remove the cadre of the rich and the poor. Then another one, everybody must sit in class and attend lessons. That one will remove the cadre of those who can have online lessons because their parents are well endowed. Even in secondary school, we can have students not even attending classes. Like when I was teaching in Nairobi, sorry to mention, I was teaching in a school where students could put on belts, and that belt is a tape recorder. So any abusive word that the teacher uses, that is what the student wants. The following day, you will be in court to explain why you used that term. So you see, sometimes it is good to say students must be controlled by rules and regulations so that uniformity is practiced. So we have the rules are there. The rules are there. There are being schools and rules and schools and regulations are important in the following. Why are they important? They assist you people to distinguish between good and bad. They also prepare you for the future. Rules must prepare you for the future. Like the code of regulations, bringing the don'ts, and the do's, it helps a teacher to be a successful teacher. You will be a teacher, successful teacher, because you respected the authority and the governing rules. It also helps create control over students' behavior. Rules assist students to prepare for the future. They also create control over their behavior. Like those who do not like using neckties. I know. I've been there, I know. When you go to a school, you find that boys or girls don't like neckties. Some of them don't like tucking in their skirts or shirts, but the rules will force you to do so that there is uniformity. So that is the rule on school rules and regulations. We have the importance, 3 points are there that you can check. Then we have admission rules and regulations. These are rules that you sign when you are admitted in that school. The learner must remain focused. The learner must remain focused to excel in education. You sign as you are entering the school so that in case you don't maintain what you said, then you will be gotten rid of. You will be dismissed from the institution. They also assist. If you sign some rules and regulations, they will assist you to remain calm, to be well behaved. They also guide and put a stop to many unwanted punishments. If you signed a rule on admission like the ones that you sign, the 4, is it the 10 to 10 rule? Already you signed that rule on admission. So if you've signed that rule on admission and you break, if I extend up to 10, I will be implicated. Then why should you extend up to 10? If like in school X, you go near a fence, just the fence of the school, you go near the fence, your parent is going to bring 3 chain links, 3 of them, not 1. Then why go near the fence? Because you signed that when you go near the fence, you will bring 3 chain links. Then why do you go? People avoid because they know the implication. So those are unnecessary punishments because you have signed the rules on admission. Then there is the issue of punishment. So what is the work of punishing people? What is the most important thing when it comes to punishment? Punishment is meant to mediate individual misbehavior It is the one that is going to work on you so that you improve. Punishment is going to remind you of the things that you failed to do so that you improve. It is going to put you to task to continue doing the right thing when you are in a school. So, effective ways of controlling misbehavior. It is one of the most effective ways. It is the fairest and it is consistent. If they say you make noise in class, you are going to uproot a stamp, and it's consistent, then you will. If you know you are appearing on the list of noisemakers, that is what you'll do. If you fail to submit your assignments, then you will go home to bring a parent. If you did not complete your holiday assignment, you will go home to bring a parent. I saw this happen. So punishments are good, they are instant, they are effective, and they are consistent. They put students on toes. They remind students by force to remember what they have failed to remember. Then there is the issue of student welfare through guidance and counseling. That is a democratic way of actually punishing students or dealing with students' cases or instilling discipline. There is a way where we can instill discipline in the learners through a democratic way. And that democratic way is through guidance and counseling or student welfare. You don't need to hit somebody 20 cans. Remember, you people are very delicate. The girls and the boys in secondary schools are so delicate. Some of them have been surviving on polished foods. Polished foods, things like chips, things like sausage, things like noodles. You know, when you eat such foods, your muscles become soft and tender, and you cannot withstand a cane. Just hit that girl or boy with one stroke of cane. The flesh will tear. And the moment there is a tear on the flesh, teachers dismissal. So to maintain school discipline, it is not actually a matter of hitting. You can use democratic approach by guidance and counseling, which will assist students to remember through informal ways on the things that they're supposed to do. Not because you are in mixed schools. Talk about them. Demystify. Make them to be normal. Let students see some situations as normal so that they are not attracted. Let students understand what drugs are. Teach about drugs. Explain properly the drugs. Talk about the good drugs that we use by the doctors. And sometimes those drugs also become bad when we misuse them. For example, if you take 3 times a day, or 4 in the morning and 4 in the evening, then you say, because I won't have time in the evening, I want to go out and sit with my friends, socialize. Let me take 8 in the morning. What is your problem? That is abusing the drug. You take 8 ALs in the morning, you will die. You take 4 paracetamols in the morning alone, you are spoiling your kidneys and you will be liable for it. Types of student disciplinary problems, there are quite a number. We have the minor offenses and major offenses. You know, the minor offenses are quite a number. These ones I could not put on a slide. class, somebody has told you to remain here, and then you move away, use of phones, late coming, like unsupervised consumption of food and drinks outside the canteen. You decide to eat from the canteen instead of eating from the dining or designated areas. Damage stroke break of any school property. Those are called minor offenses. Somebody can say, explain or discuss the minor and major offenses. You see, these are things that are in institutions. You break a rule by doing them, you stop doing something, then you are reprimanded or reminded, not in a polite way. Then we have major offenses. Major offenses are like malpractice. We are soon coming for you in January. Please don't attempt, because you have a final exam. Only when you do this exam, you'll have only one remaining. So if you are having only 2 exams remaining or 1 exam remaining, then now you malpractice or malpractice. Malpractice, you come in with a Makenya. Suspension, 3 academic years. Sasa, university peke yake, how many years are you going to take? 7. Which degree will you get in 7 years? You are not taking medicine. You are not taking engineering. Even engineering is not 7. So there are offenses that are major, there are offenses that are minor, and like forgery, forging a signature and say, this is Dr. Demtila's signature, kumbe you forged, or being rude. Like the other day, I was mad to somebody, Shayla, somebody, there is Wesley, not Shayla, Wesley. I still remember, I'm still waiting for you. You look for me in Kibabii, because I must delete that from my name. You become defiant. The lecturer is saying, keep quiet, you are making noise. Keep quiet, you are singing. Keep quiet, you show your environment. You are in a room, sleeping on a bed, and me, I'm struggling to talk in class. That is being defiant. And many others, like smoking, etc. Those ones I don't need actually to waste a lot of our time. Those are many. In fact, I have 19 plus other criminal offenses. Imagine, plus other criminal offenses. So when we talk of major and minor offenses, you should be able to categorize them and know how to deal with them in a school environment. In a school environment, you are supposed actually to know how you will deal with issues of rioting or unlawful assembly, issues students are planning for arson, and you are aware, then you assist them to sneak in petrol. That is very bad. Possession of and consumption of narcotic drugs, you will know how to deal with such cases because they are among the offenses. And remember, major offenses in most cases lead to discontinuation. Major offenses in most cases lead to discontinuation from an institution. So you know how to deal with those offenses. Then we have the consequences of the things that are mentioned above. The consequences of the things that are mentioned above, remember, they are according to each case. We have cases that are handled by police. Then we have cases that are handled by the institution. For example, when we talk of rioting, if you are not careful, the police will come and some people will be locked in. Like gambling, like theft, shoplifting. You go, you steal, that one, the police will come in. abuse of technology. Like yesterday, I was listening to live media, that is the TV. A lady had been implicated, aliwekwa ndani, for abusing the other one on WhatsApp. The lady used WhatsApp to abuse the other one, and she had been taken to court, and she slept in remand. Ladies, don't use WhatsApp. It's not a platform for sending makasiriko. It is a platform of people to communicate and share ideas. We can even learn from you, especially when you post something good. Then we have counseling can assist in some offenses like minor and major offenses. There are offenses in major that will need counseling. After reprimandation, you will also need counseling. Somebody must be taken through counseling sessions to bring out what he or she went through so that he can come back to normal. Then detention, especially those who ban schools, you will be taken in, you'll be jail, you remain in jail, in custody for many years. It can be even 7 years, 7 to 10 years, or life imprisonment. Don't attempt. And if such things are happening, you should know how to do it. Then we have in-house suspension, community service. Community service, you are reprimanded or detained at the chief center or the local and administrative office center, where you go to work in the morning and then you come back in the evening. You go to work every morning, you are there, and people must see you slashing, washing toilets, cleaning, mopping offices when you are a teacher because of that. Then we have other things, removal from any current leadership position, that is as a punishment, suspension from school, referral to external agencies, that is where you will be taken maybe for counseling or maybe for you taken to court. If the school has failed to deal with your case, then, or to deal with a certain case, then the case will be referred to other external agencies, and that is where it will be dealt with and solved. Question, last question. There is a question here. Kuna swali. With examples, explain how, with examples, explain how the school, hiyo lazima tu uandike. Sijui kama mtapata, hizo notes zitakuwa LMS. Explain how the school can train learners to become self-disciplined. How the school can train learners to be self-disciplined. If the learners are going to be self-disciplined, we are not going to have major offenses, and we are also not going to have minor offenses. You, as the teacher in charge of school discipline, the deputy principal in charge of school discipline, what are you going to do so that the learners are self-disciplined? So far, so good. I don't like giving you too much work. We have taken enough time. I have given you enough content. So go and read on. Go and read on. Go and read on. We are likely to have a physical class after graduation, or maybe if you will still be having hangovers, that is your own problem. We must finish the work that is remaining. We must finish, because now we've covered 2 topics today. I can't go to the third one. 2 topics have been covered today. We can't have the third one, but the third one I'm giving you as an assignment that you are going to read on your own. You are not reading for me. We may or may not cover. If we shall cover, thank God. If we may not cover it, you'll find it elsewhere. Management of school finances as a topic. management of school finances as a topic. Subtopic, management of school finances as a topic. Then subtopic, financing of education, secondary school education in Kenya. Financing of secondary school education in Kenya. Financing of secondary school education in Kenya. Part 2, types and use of financial records. Types and use of financial records. Types and use of financial records. Part 3. Part 3. Part 3. Part 3. Part 3 is coming. Part 3 is coming in the next 1 second. Part 3 is coming. Part 3 has failed to come. It has failed to come. Then we have, can you write constraints in part 3, constraints of obtaining school funds. Constraints of obtaining school funds. Be careful when you are dealing with, this one is very long. Types and use of financial records. We have cash book, receipt book, bank records. Then we have processes like procurement, accounting, importance of accounting, legal performance, planning, control, decision making, audit, and then finally, why audit of school finances. Full stop. So far, so good. I have reached there. We have covered 2 topics. I have given you some work in the other topic. So I don't think I need to stretch anymore. You people are tired. You've been listening since morning, and we can have it. We can have maximum 2 hours. Controller in the house. Technology advice me. I want and a half. Student bodies in the house. I feel we should call off the class. Time is 1:19, so that you can do something else. We've done enough work. The notes are on the LMS. The PowerPoints were very clear, and my teaching is also very clear. Unfortunately, you can't ask me a question. Which question do you want to ask? Can you ask a question? Is there a way you can ask a question, because I'm not seeing anybody? Hello? Yes, I can see. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and may you enjoy your lunch. Asante.